Hi guys. So we are here in our classroom kitchen getting ready to do a demo. This week we are going to make something different. We're going to make a dessert. I figure you guys have been working on a lot of the savory stuff, so now it might be time to make something a little sweet. So we are going to still work on knife cuts, but this week we are going to use apples. Apples are in season right now. They're perfect, they're delicious. This is the best time to eat apples in the fall. So we are going to make apple crisp, and that is apple crisp, not plural, apple crisps. For some reason, some of my students think that it's called apple crisps, but it's not, it's just apple crisp. And I guess let's get started. Okay. All right, so here we go. I have a peeled apple. And if you have an apple corer at home, it looks something like this. This is a peeler. So I just peeled the apple. You can go this way or around, however you're comfortable. But a corer looks a little bit like this, and you would put it straight down the apple and it would remove the core. But I don't have that, so for now I am going to use a paring knife. No chef's knife, see, paring knife. So I cut the apple in half, and now I will cut the apple in quarters. And I'm going to very carefully, see, I'm holding it tight, and it is going towards my thumb, but my thumb is my guide. So I'm sort of pressing down, and I'm just taking the core out. I don't want to take too much apple off, okay? And if there's little skin, you could trim that, and I'll do that with the rest of them. Now, I already have my apples that I need for this recipe. I just wanted to show you how to do this. So what I want to do though is cut it in 1/4 inch slices. Now, if you want to cut it like this, and just practice going nice and slow, because you want them thin. And then when you get to the end, you might have to switch your hand position. But you do not want thick slices. So we're looking at like this. Can you guys see? So thin slices, okay? Another way to do it, if you prefer, is to hold it up and just go very carefully. There you go. So you can do this as well, all right? Again, the aim is a thin apple. Okay, so we are using Honeycrisp apples and Granny Smith. These are Honeycrisp. This is Granny Smith. This is a sweeter apple, and this is a tart apple. If you can use whatever apple you like, but a lot of times it's nice to blend the sweet and tart together. And you know, you could do this for apple pie as well. All right, so I'm just going to move this out of the way, and I will take my mat away as well. All right, so the next step I want to do, I want to preheat the oven to 350. If you're using a convection oven, you might use 300 degrees. And so I am just going to start by spraying the square pan lightly with nonstick spray. And I'll put it to the side. Normally I would use a glass pan if I was home, or some other type of baking dish, but you want a square baking dish. I'm using disposable today because I'm all alone and I don't want to have to clean up a lot of dishes. I'll be honest with you. All right. So now, what do I have here? So this is about 2 pounds of apples. And a general rule of thumb is an apple, about 2 pounds of apples is about 4 to 5 apples, depending how big they are. Okay, so here are my apples. I'm going to add about a tablespoon or a little bit more of fresh squeezed lemon juice. Now we use lemon juice in general. Like if you wanted to slice these all up ahead of time, you could put it in a solution of lemon juice and water, or some kind of citrus and water, and they wouldn't turn brown. You could squeeze it on them too. But we're not doing that today. I just wanted to let you know that. So I have lemon juice, and we need some tartness in here because we're going to be adding sugar. So I'm going to add about 1/2 cup of sugar and 2 tablespoons of flour. Okay, so now I will combine this. And the reason, does anyone know the reason we add flour? We add flour because that's going to help thicken when all the apples release their moisture and the juices start to come out when they're baking. It's going to thicken those juices up. Otherwise, you'll have just a soupy mess. Okay? And this is how you make apple pie too. So we could put this filling in a pie crust as well. But the nice thing about apple crisp is it's so easy, and you can use it for any fruit that you like. If peaches are in season, you can use it for that. You can use, you know, just a combination of berries and apples, you know, whatever you like. Okay, and this is going to be a little bit high. That's okay. And I'll try to get all this goodness out of the bowl. All right, so we have our apples here. Perfect fit of the pan. And now I'm going to wipe stuff off, okay? Now I'm going to put this here for a moment. And now in this bowl, I have about 1 cup of flour, 1/2 cup of rolled oats. Rolled oats are oatmeal, okay? It's the oatmeal that you actually cook on the stove. You add oats and water and you cook for about 5 minutes, right? So that's oatmeal. So it's not cooked oatmeal, it's raw. So I have flour, 1/2 cup of rolled oats, 1/2 cup of light brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and I'm so sorry, I forgot our last ingredient. How unprofessional. Sorry. Where's my assistant when I need one? Okay, so in here I have about a stick of butter. It's diced butter. I small diced it. Can you see how small that is? So I'm going to add that to here, and it's cold butter. That is really important, okay? Cold butter. If I use warm butter and then the heat of my hands, it's going to warm it up so fast and it's going to make it into like a paste. We don't want that. So we are just going to be mixing this. See, I'm squeezing it. It's kind of a good stress relief too. But there is something kind of therapeutic about baking, and you're just sort of, when you make bread too, just like this kneading, and you're just kind of in your own zone. But okay, so what else can I tell you about this? Oh, what's really nice too with this is when it comes out of the oven, you do have to let it sit about, if you can help it, 1/2 an hour is great because it'll still be warm, but when it's too hot, it's not the same. It's not as enjoyable. And then it's going to ooze a little bit too. When you let it sit, it kind of sets and gets a little firmer. So again, you're going to have to work kind of quickly. You do not, see how you can still see the butter chunks? This is good. I don't want to make this a paste. See how it's still crumbly? But it's not quite there yet. I just want to make it into some kind of, what do I want to say, like pea-sized pieces. All right, it's coming together. And I think this is about it. So now you see how this is, oh, lost some, sorry. See how it's starting to look? It's like, I can still sprinkle it. It's not, but it's more combined now. It's like it's very crumbly, see? So this is perfect. And I've had people go to the point where it becomes creamy like a paste, and it totally ruins it. So you can also use, if you don't want to use your hands, you can also use a pastry cutter or a pastry blender if you have that at home. Or you can use something else, but I find like a whisk or something, but then it gets all trapped in there. But I like this, using my hands with gloves on. See, this is it. This is beautiful, like crumbly, perfect. Now I'm gonna put this on my apples, and you're using the whole thing. It looks like a lot, but that's okay. All right. Try to get every corner, all the apples covered. Okay, so I'll just smooth it out a little bit. This is a great Thanksgiving dessert too. I know we have a little ways for that, but it's really nice for that. A little over here. Okay, so that's basically it. Okay, I'll wipe the edges a little bit, and that is apple crisp. Let me pull this up to the light a little bit. All right, now I'm going to pop this in the oven. And it's going to take about 40 minutes. And this is what it should look like when it comes out. Okay, so the main thing that you're looking for, so I'm going to tell you, it depends on your oven. It will take about 40 to 45 minutes, depending. But what you're looking for is for all the fruit to be bubbling. And that's how this was. And the top is going to be this nice golden, crumbly, crunchy coating like. So that's it. And then you take a little scoop of this with some vanilla ice cream or a little whipped cream, whatever you like. And it's just beautiful. So thank you. And I hope you enjoy this recipe.